Hey! Hi! How you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. You know, have you ever had that one conversation with that person where you tried to talk to them about video games and tell them that video games were a form of art? Because they are a form of art. Video games are art. Have you ever come across that person who has said that video games aren't art? Where they say that video games are either children's toys or murder simulators? Well, this top 5 is here to help prove those kinds of people wrong. Those kinds of people who say that video games can't compare to movies, that they can't have the story, or characters, entertainment value, or production value of movies. This top 5 is here to tell you and show you, from my perspective, in my opinion, the top 5 video games that best show that video games can be better than movies, if not just as good. So here are the top 5 video games that prove that video games are just as good, if not better, in my opinion they are better, than movies.
Movie theater. By the looks of it, I'm guessing heavy on the tragedy and light on the comedy.
Number 5. The Darkness 2. Do you like comic book superheroes? Do you like comic book superhero movies? Do you like the supernatural fiction? Do you like gangsters and mobsters? Do you like gangster and mobster stories? Well, The Darkness 2 blends it all together into one nice little bundle. It has a dark, mature story, likable, memorable characters, a really colorful and gorgeous art style. This game is able to appease a lot of people who are fans of anti-heroes and superheroes, blood and gory action, for people who are into mobsters and gangsters and that sort of thing. And also, The Darkness 2 just has a really well-written characters and story. Dialogue is excellent and believable. Jackie Estacado is a great main character. He's a great anti-hero. At times you feel like Jackie can be a bit of a real scumbag, but there are also times where you really pity him, you feel sad for him. You feel like underneath all that murderous intent, there's a genuine good guy there. There's also a really deep and emotional and engaging romance story between Jackie and his dead girlfriend Jenny. The Darkness 2 has some real high quality writing. It also has some satisfying, over-the-top, crazy, gory action. So, if you like the supernatural, if you like mobsters and gangsters, if you like well-written story and characters, if you like comic book superheroes, well then The Darkness 2 is a really great video game for you, and I highly recommend it to those who love those types of movies and those types of games. Number 4. Wolfenstein The New Order. Do you like the works of Quentin Tarantino? Do you like movies and video games that take place in an alternate timeline, an alternate universe, an alternate timeline? Do you like a mix of brutal, realistic, graphic visualizations of war and the horrors of war, while at the same time being able to be uplifting and entertaining and downright funny at moments? Able to keep a balance between dark, depressing, humorous and over the top, and grounded, realistic, believable and relatable? Wolfenstein The New Order does all this and so much more. The cutscenes in this video game are so well directed. What with the camera angles, the pacing and the timing. What with the tremendous, simply tremendous, excellently acted voice acting. The entertaining over-the-top action. The unique premise and setting. An actual heavy use in foreign languages. The game feels really cultural. You hear Polish, German, French, English, a lot of very cultured and language in this game. So if you like a satisfying action-packed first-person shooter, and you love really high quality storytelling and memorable characters, a story that balances between dark, depressing, graphic, to uplifting, crazy humor, and with a lot of realistic, relatable elements and character relationships, by God, is Wolfenstein The New Order the game for you. Number 3. LA Noire. LA Noire is really good. It's really good. If you're a fan of noir movies and noir storytelling, If you're a fan of crime dramas, if you're a fan of detective stories, of thriller stories, of cop stories, detective stories, criminal stories, then oh boy will you like LA Noire, cause in those terms, LA Noire is a masterpiece. LA Noire is just as good, if not better, than so many actual noir crime detective movies I've seen. The characters are so realistic and relatable and memorable. Some characters are cliched and classic, but hey, there's nothing wrong with that. LA Noire also perfectly captures Los Angeles. In the 1940s, you can smell and feel and just see the culture of that time period. It's in the clothes, it's in the mannerisms, it's in the decor, it's in the architecture, it's in the cars. LA Noire is 1940s Los Angeles. LA Noire is also so engaging and enthralling. It's addicting. You can't stop playing the game. Once you start playing the game, once you start getting into the crime dramas, once you start getting into the many mysteries, unraveling the plot, meeting and questioning new characters, it is addicting as all hell. You can't stop playing, cause there's always an answer, there's always a twist, there's always something else to thicken the plot. And whenever LA Noire starts to move into action-packed territory, it's incredibly tense and engaging, whether it be in shootouts, car chases, or on-foot chases. Just everything about LA Noire is engaging, enthralling. And of course, the acting in this game, because there is actual acting in this game, not just voice acting, actual acting. You see the actual expressions the actors made with the excellent face motion capture in this game. You see the actual acting of the actors in this game, and the acting is top-notch phenomenal. If you ever hear someone say that video games do not have the same quality of acting as found in movies, show them LA Noire. And believe me, they will bite their tongue. So yeah, if you like crime stories, detective stories, if you like noir, anything to do with noir, if you like great story and truly great acting, then I highly recommend to you LA Noire. Number 2. Spec Ops The Line. Oh man, Spec Ops. Spec Ops The Line, in a few words, is a very powerful experience. This is one of the very few video games ever that gave me very genuine, deep feelings. I was genuinely sad and depressed at the many horrors, the many tragedies, and the many dark twists and turns that happened throughout this game. Spec Ops The Line is also just a genius video game in terms of storytelling and character development. The game makes you think and feel at first that this is going to be a macho, action hero, military soldier, save the day, kill all the bad guys type of game and type of story. But as you continue to play, everything starts to unravel. What you thought was going to be a simple action soldier shoot 'em up typical bro dude, yeah, America fest, you are in for a dark surprise. I felt genuinely bad. I felt genuinely disgusted. I felt genuinely sad when I discovered the entirety of the plot of Spec Ops The Line and I got to that ending. Well, I experienced all the multiple endings and each one of them was just as powerful as the other. Spec Ops The Line is a must-play video game for the sake of storytelling. It is a truly great game about war, about soldiers, about the psyche and the mind. Spec Ops The Line is a brilliant game, with brilliant storytelling and a plethora of memorable moments. So, before someone goes telling you that video games are just murder simulators, or action soldier simulators with a bunch of blood and gore, show them Spec Ops The Line. Have them play the game in full, or watch the game in full, and you aren't for a dark surprise. Granted, it is a great, brilliant, masterfully crafted storytelling of a surprise, but a dark, sad surprise nonetheless. Anyways, before I reveal my #1 video game that proves that video games are just as good, if not better than movies, here's a quick recap. And the #1 video game that proves that video games are just as good, if not better than movies, is a tie between the Mass Effect trilogy and the Dragon Age trilogy. And if we're talking about specific games in both trilogies, for Mass Effect I would go for Mass Effect 2 and 3 as the best games from that trilogy, and Dragon Age Inquisition as the best game from that trilogy. If you're a fan of Star Wars and Star Trek, you will love and adore Mass Effect. If you're a fan of high-quality science fiction. If you like Lord of the Rings and enjoy fantasy, you will love Dragon Age. Both games have simply, expertly, masterfully, wonderful, memorable, amazing stories. They're packed with detail and lore, clever twists and turns. And both trilogies are packed to the brim, absolutely packed, with magnificent acting and voice acting, and countless memorable, lovable characters. It just has all the elements from those movies that movie critics and movie lovers talk about, from Star Wars and Star Trek and Lord of the Rings and other fantasy movies. Mass Effect and Dragon Age simply have great characters, great storytelling, so much detail and lore. It's impossible, simply impossible not to get engaged while playing and watching these games. And not just that, these games are highly replayable because you can make different choices, and your choices will affect the outcome of several moments in the stories throughout the games. Certain characters will live and die, return and never return. Important decisions and story elements will drastically be different, something that can't be done in a movie. And the games are just so epic. There's such an epic build-up, there's epic battles. Epic, gorgeous, enthralling music. Epic set pieces. If you love science fiction, you will see spaceships flying around in Mass Effect. And if you love fantasy, you will see dragons take flight and soar throughout the skies. In Mass Effect, you will hear about unique alien biology and technology. And in Dragon Age, you will learn about interesting fantasy religions and see colorful, destructive magic in action. Mass Effect and Dragon Age are dreams come true when it comes to loving sci-fi and fantasy. And for those of you who say that video games can't match the quality of movies, or never be to the same standard as movies, that they will never be considered art as movies, then I implore you to check out Dragon Age and Mass Effect and be proven dead wrong. If you guys enjoyed this video in any way, if you agree with me, if you liked the video, if you just downright liked the video, please hit the like button. It helps me, it helps you, helps everyone and everything involved with this video, so please hit the like button. If you liked it, please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think of my opinion, what you think of the games I talked about. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please leave a comment. I love reading comments. I don't get nearly enough comments. Please leave a comment. And if you're new to the channel, if you just stumbled across this video and this is the first video of mine you've watched, if you like a guy who loves talking about video games and just loves video games in general, please subscribe to support me and see more of my content. This has been the Gamertron, this has been a video, and I will see you guys later.